Morning, everyone. It is 9 a.m. Happy Tuesday to you all. So I'm going to take it easy on you this week. We don't have a whole lot not a whole lot cooking, but one know that I'll be adding some notes on a couple of job aids this week. We have the new learning management system trainings that are going to be coming very soon. So we're going to have some more details coming. And then a Q&A, if you guys have any questions, hopefully I can provide an answer, and then a fun fact of the day. So pretty short training Tuesday this week since we don't have a whole cooking. So let's first talk about the job aids. There are, coming from some feedback from agency as well as some SEOs, there are a couple notes that I'm going to be adding to some job aids. So for instance, a note on the small purchase less than $10,000 for, like IOC, the comptroller offset isn't required until it's $20,000. So we would put that on a couple of the job aids as well. From last week, we talked about the IPG documents and how you can download all the PDFs just as one, or all the forms as one PDF, as well as the ownership information. In the job aids, I think I could be a little bit clearer on there in terms of what those documents are titled. I think we called them IPG documents and or including ownership information. So that ownership sheet actually has a title. So I'll just update those things. Also on the IFB job aid, there are, I think it says at the very top, for procurements, $100,000. As you know, that purchase threshold has been raised to $104,100. So I'll make those updates. And if you guys see that too, I think this is kind of a good time to always let you know that those job aids are kind of a living document, so to speak, in that we're not constantly updating them, but when things arise or we get feedback from agencies or SPOs that they could be better, that's when we go in and make those small tweaks. So if you ever come across something that you think would benefit the agency, please let us know, and we'll discuss it and potentially add it. So and always as a reminder, I know you guys know this already and you're probably sick of me saying it, but we always have some new folks on the call too. So whenever you're doing a procurement and bid buy, it's always a good idea to go out and make sure that you're utilizing the most up-to-date job aids. So like I said, while we're not constantly doing them, every once in a while there are those little tweaks, and we want to make sure that you're using the most up-to-date version. So we have the link there. If you if you have printed yours out, anytime I make a change, I do change the version number. So if you go there, you'll see that it's, the brand new versions will be 21.1 for fiscal year 21, and the previous versions would be 20.4 or whatever. So make sure you're using the most up-to-date job aid. And I assume we don't have any questions on that, but please let me know if you do. So we're very excited to announce it's not up and running just yet, but the onettraining.illinois.gov, we're going to have some introduction to procurement training out there for some slides with some check your learning questions as you go. So it's going to be very similar to how we all are required to go through cybersecurity training or sexual harassment training, or those statewide trainings. It's going to be on that same page. So more details to come. We're working on the content right now, but very soon that the very first offering should be up rather soon, which will be an introduction to Illinois procurement. But more details to come, but it's going to be very good for those people that are new to procurement, and you see how all the puzzles or all the pieces of the puzzle kind of fit and work together from a very high level view. So with that, do we have any questions? I guess we kind of just open it up for a Q&A. Okay, not seeing any specific questions. You just reach out to us. We do have a question. Do you know when they'll be offering new training classes for new users? Oh, thank you. I just realized that you emailed me on Friday afternoon, didn't you? I don't have a specific date. I will reach out and I will definitely let everybody know on Tuesday. Normally, what I like to do is it'll be on a Wednesday because midweek works best for everyone. And normally, I like to do it right in the middle of the month. So, really in about 2 weeks, I will. I will reach out to you specifically. Once again, sorry I missed your email. Um, and it looks like we have a couple staff that need to be trained as soon as possible as well. So if you reach out to me, send me an email. I do have a couple recordings from the last one I can get out to you sooner than later if you don't want to wait the 2 weeks. However, I would uh, suggest that they be a part of the full day training. Now, I will specifically get that date locked in. I just need to double check the schedule and everything like that. So most likely in about 2 weeks. We normally do it right in the middle of the month. That way we're consistent each month, and so we're not doing a training and then 2 weeks later we're doing another training, and then it's 6 weeks later. We like to have it right in the middle of the month. So um, no, if you sent me an email last week, I don't need another email. um, So I must have just missed that one. I'm sorry about that. So let's see. We have a couple other questions. Are there any vendor contract management trainings available that APOs can use to train other agency staff on how to handle vendor interactions, especially if they might impact procurement? So not any contract management trainings. We don't have any of that. Um, Unfortunately, that procurement is on the front end, contract management is at the tail end. Now we do have some offerings or specific training in terms of communications, and really what that comes to is if you have a specific question, always reach out to your SPO, that they can help with that. But we also have procurement policy board reportable communications, and I have a couple of slides that is in funny enough, it's actually in that introduction to Illinois state procurement, that LMS system that will be out there. But um, it really just talks about what is reportable to PPB and what is not reportable. Now, in general, in terms of how they would impact procurement in terms of vendor interactions, really what from a broadly, if a vendor has a specific question regarding process, now that's different. How do I submit this in bid buy, or what forms are needed? Those sorts of things. That's very process oriented. That's not necessarily going to have to be reported. But if you have a question, the vendor starts asking specific questions about a procurement. Now, we would ask them to send those in writing, and then those answers would be given as a bid amendment to all vendors. So that's just a part of a question and answer amendment that would be done. If that's something, and you always want to err on the side of caution. So anyone in procurement, if a vendor starts asking a question and that person isn't really sure if they're crossing a line or not, it's always appropriate for an agency to say, uh, I need to stop you right there. I need to, elevate this question. I need to, I'm not sure if I can answer that. You never want to be in a situation where, and we wouldn't put the vendor in a situation too where they could be a prohibited bidder. So, really just use your best judgment in terms of if they are answering a question can be answered, um, just pointing the vendor back to the solicitation document. We always want to do that. You can always refer them back to the IFB or the RFP or specifications in any of the solicitations. That's probably going to be the best route, rather than having an agency person go out on a limb to try to answer a specific question. And all these things, I mean, there are shades of gray here. So I understand that agency personnel might not know what they can or can't say. But if it's regarding process, it's absolutely okay to answer the question. But if it starts digging into, well, hey, will this product meet your specifications? Those sorts of questions that can get kind of murky there. And so we want to make sure that we avoid those types of situations where the agency is putting themselves out on the line when really they could just refer them back to the solicitation document. And then if there are those specific questions, which are always going to happen, certainly on more complicated procurements, those answers are put out to everybody, to all vendors, via an amendment. So I know that was kind of a lot to unpack there, but other than the specific reportable communications in PPB, for PPB, we don't have a we don't have a bunch of slides or anything like that. So if that didn't adequately answer your question, reach out and that might be something that we could add to one of our Training Tuesday topics. Let's see. So have training on creating reports in BidBuy. Yes, we can do that. Now, depending on specifically for reports, what reports you're looking for. If you're looking for the business intelligence tool, that's something that we can absolutely do. Now, if it's something that you want specifically for your agency, reach out to me and we can set something up specifically for your agency, or we could do one of these Training Tuesdays. There also is, if you go back to the training center, there is a Training Tuesday that I did, and I just named it the snapshot reporting, to where it's very good for APOs, department heads, where you can go in and just export one of your searches that has some of the main fields, and then you can export it to Excel. So I would just refer you back to that Training Tuesday, and it's in the title. So if you go to the training center and go to Training Tuesday, it says snapshot reporting is the name title. Now, the creating reports in BidBuy, it is a very expansive and very you could report on any single field in BidBuy. So it is a really powerful tool. But if you want specific training on that, we'll probably have to dig in a little bit more. And that's a good topic. Maybe that's something that maybe we can hit on one of the Training Tuesdays. It would take a little bit longer than we normally do here in just the 15 minutes or so. But I think that would be a helpful topic for us. So I'm actually going to go ahead and put it on the topic for next week. So if you are interested in doing reports, we'll hit this week, okay? All right, yeah. Nope, glad to do it. All right, do we have any other questions? Okay, so today, American Chess Day, September 1st. If you are to chess, I'm sure there's many opportunities to play chess on our phones now, right? Like the Words with Friends or whatever, but today's American Chess Day. All right, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And the recording will be posted per usual. I'll send the slides around to everybody who is on the call. And have a great rest of your week. We'll see you soon.